Finally, let's go.
Oh,
Welcome to the Your Perspective Matters podcast. I am your host, Ronald, and here is my co-host, Jazz.
hello.
And we are excited on today, because I want to say this is a last minute episode, but this is also an episode that I believe that is highly needed for sure,
Mhm.
especially with I want to say with everything that's going on in the world, and our wanting success, and then the personal development aspect and the mental health aspect. I want to talk about something, or we want to talk about some very uncomfortable things. But before we get into that, I'm going to drop the objection questions, and then we'll get into our icebreaker. So, um, yeah, let's do it. But before I do that, well, let me relax. I'm gonna, cause we've been out of the loop for a minute. How you feeling, Jazz? How you feeling?
Wonderful. How are you, Ronnie Ron?
I am incredible since we are back at it. Like, this is definitely a vibe, and I miss it for sure. Hey, hey. Um, so the objection questions that I have on today that we're definitely going to be talking about, is, are you not receiving, right? Because the episode on today talks about making room, right? The topic is, are you making room? And I believe, number one, are you able to, or at least things that would signify if you are making room or not, is, number one, are you not receiving the things that you want or desire, right? You might be praying to God for some things, or you might be working hard and you're like, why am I not gaining or getting the things that I want? Number two is, are you in your own way? That's another measure, and we'll definitely speak on that, of, are you making room? And the last question, which I love, is what you are holding on to valuable or perishable? Now, before we get into really diving deep into those questions, for our icebreaker, right? I want to ask you, Jazz, what did you conquer this week?
Um, I've conquered getting out of my own way.
Okay,
So,
okay, so we can get right into the question. Let's do it.
what have you conquered this week?
Um, Wait, before we do that, elaborate. What? So, in terms of how you got out your own way, talk to me. Like, how does that look?
Um, just for one standpoint, I just haven't been motivated, like, at all, not even a little bit. And I was tired of feeling that way, and I just needed to talk it out, cry it out, clean up, just get a few things together so that I can get my mindset back connected all the way. Because it's like, everything I want to do is there.
Right.
It's just, I have to put action to it, and I have to move my emotions to the side and everything else that can hinder me from getting to my goals. So yeah, that's the gist. But of course, we'll go into more detail with
For
other.
sure.
I don't want to answer it now and then.
You over here just spilling the whole episode. How dare you?
I
How
know.
dare you? Okay. So, and the reason why I asked this as an icebreaker question, because it's a two-part icebreaker, right? There is the, what did you conquer this week? But we all know that my podcast, or our podcast, focuses on having uncomfortable conversations so you can grow. So as we understand what we conquered, the next question that I'm going to ask you is, what did you fail at this week?
Um, accountability.
Mm, self accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. And what didn't you uh own up to? Go ahead. Spill the
Um,
tea.
I'm just gonna go. There's a few things that I wasn't being fully accountable for. One of them was relationship wise. I wasn't being like fully accountable for just how I've been kind of treating the relationship. Because there's always a reason and an explanation and all of that, but the main part of that is the action that's
Yes.
either being done or not. So I
Right.
wasn't fully being accountable with that.
Okay.
Um, with myself, I wasn't fully being accountable with um me not doing my best. It's
Mm.
like it was just always a reason why I didn't get this done or a reason why I haven't done this yet. And like I said, it's either the action or not. That's the main part of it. So I wasn't being accountable that I just simply wasn't getting it done.
Mm.
So
That you going deep because so I want to go with the first part you said, right, about the action. And although although yes, it's a part, I don't think it's the main part. I think it's equal to other things, like there's the action part of doing it. There's the what is your intention? Because you can also perform a thing but not have the right motives or correct intention behind it, right? So for an example, apologizing. I can just go and just apologize to you, but my intention could just be I want to say sorry just to get you to be quiet so you don't bother me no more about it, but
mhm,
not but escape the whole emotional aspect of I should say sorry by feeling that I've actually hurt you,
mhm,
right? So there's the action side of what you did, there's the intention side of being intentional, and then there's the mindset side of what your state of mind, and that also dictates your attitude towards it. You know, so I think those and I mean we you don't have to, as always, you don't have to reveal everything because I know it's definitely very very personal to you, but I believe that a part of that is realizing those parts. Like there is some things that you did or didn't hold yourself accountable to as far as action, but there's also that what was your state of mind, and then was your intention correct? Because like, and I may be talking a lot, but like me speaking from a man's perspective, like we as men, as much as we might say that we're not super emotional or we may not care about certain things, but we do,
right,
right? And we very much pay attention to what, especially in a relationship, how a woman reacts, and we need that emotional side from them so we can be emotional. If you don't give us that emotional side and you don't take ownership for not only just what you did, but going back to it, your mindset, and going back to it, your intention. If you don't take ownership of that, then we don't really. It's not even that we don't have anything, but we're building on a shaky ground for sure.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, talk to me.
I agree with what you said, and I also feel like there's another side to that as well. So, like, I know you're saying that you don't think the action is the main part, but in reality, if you switch it, it
Hmm.
still is. So, for example, my intention could be not to hurt you, but I did.
Right,
The main part of that is my action
right,
because I still hurt you,
right.
and that needs to be fixed. I can't fix it based off my intention because my intention doesn't match.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so I love this. I love this. Ooh, this is why our perspective matters. So, um, your intentions matter a lot, right? Um, and it
I said match.
right. Okay, it matches, right? Your intentions can match, and depending on the scenario, depending on what is done, it the the action may be higher than the intention. Sometimes the intention may be higher than the action.
Mhm,
Um, Going back to it in another scenario, let's just say me and you are going out, and um, my what is it? Your birthday, right? I how should I say this? Your your birthday is a specific day, whatever, and we always go out on your birthday, do what we got to do.
mhm,
Um, but my intention, again, right, and I'm trying to do this in the most simplest way.
mhm,
My intention could literally be to, um, I mean, showing up is good, but my intention could just be, I want to show you, um, no, my intention could be, hey, I just want to show you that I'm showing up, right?
mhm,
That's just my whole ideology. But the no, I'm saying it backwards because I want you to see the intention part. So the opposite, I am. Dang, this is good. I kind of like lost the whole. Ah man, this is good. This is good. I promise you, this is good. Um, Overall, because I gotta create a scenario in my head, and my brain is like going like on 10 right now because I could. It's a lot right now, but
yeah,
the reason why I say that is that your intention matters or can be equal and it can match up is because it has everything to do with the mindset. I don't ever want someone to even better relationship, right? I don't ever want someone to show up every single day, tell me that they love me and all of this, and their intention is never to get married,
mhm,
right? So in that case, what they call that love bombing, right?
mhm,
And that's something new that I learned because I didn't know what the heck that was. But it makes a lot of sense. It's giving you a false reality because I'm showing you in a reality standpoint, hey, this is what I'm doing. But I
mhm,
know that my intentions is I never want to get married because I'm too scared.
mhm.
So that's the reason. That's one of the examples that I can give as far as it can equal up. In your case, I mean, if you want to go in detail, you can go in detail, but in your case, it might be a little different.
Yeah, that's all I was speaking on. Just
Hmm.
like just in the moment of making a mistake.
Right. Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
So I wasn't saying it like as a whole because
Yeah.
both sides are right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Both sides are right. yes, your action can completely match your intention. I wasn't saying like it can never. I was just saying for my situation or for something similar to that,
Hmm.
the action would matter more than the intention. If I were to make a mistake that I wasn't trying to make,
Right.
then in that case, I would feel like that doesn't match in that moment, but it mattered for the action to either be fixed or to be done correctly. But being that it wasn't, that would have to be, you know,
Right.
I,
Hello. And so before we even continue, my question to you is: have you rectified the situation as or justified in taking the accountability?
yeah.
And what were those steps on doing that?
Having a conversation,
Okay.
um, taking the emotion out of the situation, as in how I feel about what's being said about myself. You
Hmm.
know, it's really hard for you to hear something that's not so positive, you
Yeah.
know, constructive criticism,
Okay.
you know, a lot of people have a problem with that. Sometimes I have problems with it depending on which type of criticism it is.
Yeah.
Um, and it's simply because I don't want to be looked at as that and I don't want to be that type of person. So
Mm.
it's when I'm being told that I'm being something that I don't want to be, it does bother me. Um, but after that, I'm gonna have to take accountability and say, "Well, yeah, I am acting that way," or "Yeah, I did do that. I don't wanna do that again because I don't wanna feel like this anymore. I don't wanna ever have this feeling about myself. I don't ever wanna be this type of disappointed again now that I've done it." Of course, there'll be new disappointments, but making the same disappointment towards yourself is a lot,
Yeah.
and, um, we as humans make the same disappointments when it comes to ourselves a lot. But you will get tired of making the same decision that's hindering you from something else. So I guess that's where I am.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. It's. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on about you, Jazz, but off camera, and I tell you this all the time. Um, there is so much greatness in you. Like just hearing
Oh,
how you talk, hearing how you articulate your words, but most importantly, with the situation and situations that you have faced and is conquering, it just shows your determination. It shows your willpower. It shows your desire, your focus. You are a very relentless person.
thanks. Don't make me cry.
I mean, hey,
You know I love to cry.
cry number one. Let's get it. But yeah, I had to. I don't know why God allowed me to express that to you, but you are very relentless. For those that um don't know, me and Jazz we met a few years back, and it was through virtual, which is crazy. We're in partnership now, and we still have never seen each other in person. Like I
Never.
I honestly think that she's an AI, but you know we're just gonna hope that she's a real person. Maybe I won't be catfished, but yeah.
Maybe.
So
Well,
just like her background earlier, but we're not gonna talk about that.
hey, I would have showed you guys my background. However, we're just getting back into it. I don't want you guys sitting in my house just it.
See that piano to your left or your right, whichever one it was, right? Remember?
It's okay.
Nah. But but I excuse me. I it was so like interesting because we both was a part of a company, and it was a cool network marketing company. We were learning how to trade and a whole bunch of stuff. And we was a part of a group, and no, well, we end up getting a part of like a motivational moga, what is it, yoga kind of thing or
Yeah.
whatnot. and it was cool. Like I'm not knocking it. But then, which is crazy, we mutually had to part ways from that group because of certain spiritual beliefs that wasn't aligning with ours. But what happened on that call, and this is really how me and Jazz really got connected, was, and I'm very big with energies and spirit, and I saw that Jazz just wasn't her normal self in the chat. Right? She would speak. This time she wasn't speaking at all. She was just texting in the chat, and it wasn't even often. It was just like once, maybe twice, and that was it. Um, and I had to ask her in the chat, like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I think I believe you replied, and then towards the ending, I was like, "I need to call you." And when I called you, it was literally a like I came to be of service to you, and it ended up being we were both of service to each other,
Yeah.
and it was we were locked in ever since.
Yeah.
Literally,
I remember
literally, that was
that.
we
That was a
we had
great
a
conversation.
very first conversation. I was like, okay, Jazz is why we not like it's and it always happens like and we're kind of getting off topic, but I believe specifically in my life, what happens is God strategically attaches me to certain people
Mhm.
where it's like why haven't I spoken to you before?
Yeah.
Like we should have been, like that first conversation is like, hold on, you
Yeah.
this, you that, you wait, whoa, where you
Right.
been all my life? Like what's going on?
Exactly.
But yeah, we locked in, and it's been that's the reason why I say that she's relentless, because with the situations that she revealed back then, up until now, it's like you got that. You
Yeah.
got that
Thank
for
you.
sure.
I
For
appreciate
sure.
that. Came along.
Um, we did. We did for sure. Let me let me answer that really quickly, and then we're gonna move on to our actual episode. So for me, what did I conquer this week? What I conquered was um I conquered a lot. Uh, what I conquered was actually putting together, and I think it ties into our meetings prior, right?
Mhm.
Is taking leadership, and because I think, and excuse me, this is critical because a part of the failures of the podcast, I want to say, right, on my part, is I didn't take full accountability in my own leadership.
Mhm.
Knowing that I am a leader, but failing to uphold those leadership things allowed us to not be consistent, allow us to fall apart, allow us to not have communication. And so and I tell people all the time, it's always your fault. No matter what the scenario is, it's always your fault. But not to blame you in a negative way, but to get you to understand that there's always something that you could do, because you can only do what you are able to do. And
Mhm.
once you fulfill that, then it's that's it. But I knew I can't be like, yo, Jazz, why you ain't hit me up? Like you would have changed everything, or why, you not there, or why you not consistent. Even though those are
Valid
valid
question.
things, right? But there was a lot of inconsistency with myself, right? It was a lot of spiritual battles that I was facing, and so on and so forth, that I failed to uphold my leadership part. So um, that was something that I conquered this week, is being able to put together and actually record this episode this week, because even though we could have recorded last week, but I allowed it to be more of just putting more things together. It was like a part two to our meeting, you know. Um what I failed at this week, mm, Ronald, do I have your permission to make you uncomfortable? Yes, you do. What what I failed at this week is our other podcast host, TP. I feel like, and we had a conversation prior to this, but not going on the everything that we were saying, but specifically, I feel or I felt like I could have reached out to her in a different light, maybe, right?
Mhm.
And when you were saying earlier that like maybe we need to be a friend and not make it feel like work, I think that's probably what my approach was.
Mhm.
Um, and what they say, check on your strong friends, you know,
Yeah.
and PP is definitely a strong friend. And we don't mean check on them professionally. We mean like drop all the professionalism, drop all the you know facades or whatever you got to put on, the character you got to put on, and
Mhm.
just be real and say, hey, are you okay? You
Right.
know, and I didn't even text her. That's the thing. I called her. I called her multiple times, um, but there was no response. And it's not like I feel any type of way. I'm just hurt because I don't know fully, you know, the extent of what's going on. But
Mhm.
that's the part that I play in terms of what I failed at this week. Yeah,
Yeah. That is tough.
yeah, it's deep.
I feel the same way. I feel like I failed at being a good friend for sure.
Yeah, it ain't easy. It is not easy. So getting into, are you making room? Um, so the first objection question that we have is, are you receiving? And I think that's the first signal of, are you making space for the things that you want? Oftentimes we'll be asking God, hey, God, I want this. Hey, God, I want a better relationship. God,
Mhm.
I want more an increase in finances. God, I want another opportunity. God, I want you to close this opportunity. God, I want to heal. But in the process of everything, um, they all take up space,
Mhm.
right? If we look at, and I'm a computer technician, but for those that like pay attention to like some of the stuff in the computer, when you get, or even your phone, right? Your phone or your computer, when you put on the operating system, right? That automatically takes up space, right? That that automatically um that automatically takes up space. So if that takes up space, that means that whatever your complete what is it? Whatever your complete storage is, it's already at a it's it's the bloopers for me. Um whatever your storage is, if you're at, let's just say, a terabyte, or let's just say 50 gigs of storage, the operating system is automatically going to take up like 10 gigs, let's just say, of storage. So you're already at a default. So I say all that to say that the things in the process in which you want to receive, you have to be able to make room for it.
Right.
You cannot ask for something and then there's something in the way, right? How you feel about that? Receive, are you not receiving?
I agree with everything you said, and I can honestly say that I am not receiving, or I haven't been.
Mm,
Um, and it's so many layers to that too, because this is just a perfect topic. Like this is such a perfect topic because like you can't help but to be uncomfortable with everything you have to say with this because it's like the whole situation is an accountability thing and it's uh like why am I doing that? Why am I acting like that?
right.
I have not been receiving.
Mm,
I have not been open. I've been very closed. And then I'll get frustrated because I'm like, Jasmine, you could be here right now. You could be doing this. You could be this far along. You could have 50 videos up. It's been 4 months, five, about to be six. It's 6 months now into the year. Um, and you've only made two posts, three.
mm,
So like even with that, and then it's like, with the process of me sterilizing all of these jars that I got, which was a huge blessing. Like I don't even have to order anything for a very long time. Yet I have still yet to put time aside to sterilize it so I can actually put products in them so that I can actually sell it.
mm.
And then here I am again, frustrated because this isn't happening or that isn't happening. I'm tired of working at my job, but it's like I could be way closer to my goal of just working for myself had I worked so much harder this year alone. And it's not even something hard to do.
It's not.
It's not even hard. And it's like, um, a lot of people, including myself, will lose sight of having faith in doing the work. Faith without
Mm,
work is always dead.
right.
So it's like I can say all day, I wish God would bless me, or I'm just waiting on God to bless me. And you can say that so many times to the point where you forgot that He did.
Right.
You didn't do your part after that. So it's like, yes, he's going to do things for you. However, we still have free will. So he's going to put something in place for you to act on. And whatever way you act on that, that's how that's going to go. So it's best that you use your free will to make the best decision that you can, that you know to make. And a lot of us don't do that. Not right away. A lot of us will wait until we get a huge blessing and then we utilize that as okay, I got this blessing. And then you just think the next thing is going to fall into your lap. And it doesn't. You have to actually get up and put forth work with that. Then the next thing will fall into your lap for you to also work on. Um, and it's like, mm, yeah, I've done my receiving before, but I just stopped.
Mm,
And you can't continue to receive if you don't move things out the way to receive them.
that part.
And I mean that as in putting action towards what I did receive prior to, and I haven't been doing that. And it's been eating at me so bad. And the thing is, it's something that I could immediately change, and I just didn't.
Oh my God, I felt that in my soul just now.
Seriously. And then, like, and I'm just talking about self wise with all of
Yeah.
that. But even relationship wise, Yesterday I
Mm,
was having a conversation, and um the conversation was about communicating what I'm trying to say effectively. Or being able to say something without saying something else, like adding something that doesn't matter into it. And I remember saying, change doesn't happen within seconds. And, I'm working on this, I'm working on this, but change doesn't happen in seconds. And then my next sentence was so clear, no confusion, no nothing. And he said, you say change doesn't happen in seconds, but you just said that with no issue. You just
mm.
changed in seconds. Continue doing that. No, I couldn't even say anything.
Hello,
I couldn't even say nothing because I'm like,
hello.
okay, you're absolutely right.
Yes,
I said
yes.
exactly what I needed to say. No emotion in it,
Mm,
but just simple logic. I haven't been doing this. I know I'm this. I know I have to work on this, and I will. Okay. I didn't say I've been wanting to do this, but I was trying to do this, and I'm feeling like this. Two different sentences.
yeah.
Same intention, two different sentences.
Okay. So here's my new I mean, you got me wanting to say like 10,000 different things. Like you got me fired up. And with my new mantra is uh hold on to, you have to attach the work to yourself, but you have to attach the result to God.
Mhm,
As long as you consistently keep putting in the work, right? Not any type of work, but the work that you need to be done, right?
mhm,
You don't even have to focus on the result. The result is going to come, but the
mhm.
result would never come if you don't put in the work.
Right.
And I feel it so much, right? I would have to say that at a period I was not receiving, but now I am, because of the small little steps of actually taking action.
Right.
And like how you said that, you've been doing your thing for some years, but you haven't, I mean, for you haven't posted anything or recorded anything in a couple months.
Mhm.
That's me for the podcast. Like this podcast is a few years old. And technically, right, if you are recording and uploading an episode every week, your numbers should be at least about 50 to 54 episodes a year.
Mhm.
That's if you're only recording one episode, right? So for those that are podcasters and or even just a YouTube person and you're looking to record, your numbers should be about 50 to 54, somewhere around there. Um, that amount of episodes a year. Now, if you start to upload more, it's different. But even that, it's been a couple years, and we're at 20 something episodes.
Mhm.
So for a very long time, going back to myself as far as the leadership portion, I, I wasn't receiving podcast wise, or I felt like I stopped the flow for all of us because I wasn't taking accountability of that leadership side.
Mhm.
And I had to realize, because I was telling somebody the other day, he's a fitness person, and I was asking him what's stopping you from, going to these different events elsewhere or moving, because he said he wanted to move. And he said that because his family and everybody he knows is here, and specifically the people he have left. Like he had a lot of death in his family. And he said that I just want to, I gotta be here for them. And I said, number one, if you want to be here for them and do, or you cannot be there for them and try to accomplish the goals that you want at the same time. There's going to be a risk, right?
Mhm.
And for me, I prefer to take the risk of betting on myself and going forth with my ideas and passion, because your passion is going to make room for you to be able to be around your people.
Mhm.
And he wanted me to elaborate. So I was telling him, I said, what'll happen is if you stay and don't move and don't go to any other events outside of, outside of Vegas, what'll happen is you'll resent your family for not accomplishing the thing that you wanted to overall accomplish.
Mhm.
So you're gonna use it as motivation and say, you know what? I gotta pursue my dream as a fitness coach, right? As a fitness trainer. You do it what's it called? Virtually, which means that now instead of you just training one person, you can train multiple people at once,
Mhm.
which increases your revenue, and you can go everywhere to be able to do it.
Mhm.
And that motivated him to see that, okay, now if that's true, I can go to Houston, I can live in Houston, make a living and a dream and a huge career out of my passion. And then
Mhm.
whenever my family needs me, I just fly back.
Right.
You feel me? Like some people make it so difficult that, like, oh, it's the end all be all if my family is not next to me. And it's like, but now they have a place to go to. Maybe they've never been to Houston. If you living in Houston, hey, come pull up on me. Or if you want to come back home to go check them out, you can fly back. You just have to pursue your passion, which is going to make room for the things that you would fully desire.
That's so true. That's literally true. Because I was also thinking about moving to Houston.
Okay.
I've always wanted to move to Texas. I don't know why. I really feel like it's more so because of the homes. Um,
It is fire.
I don't know. I want land and I want a homestead and I want to be one of those wives and moms that can stay at home with her kids until, they're like 5.
Mm,
So serious. Like I don't want to be the mom that has to go clock in at work and then I see you
right.
later. I want to be able to be with my kids at every step of their development as
Yeah.
much as possible. Um, which is another reason why I want a homestead. And I will have that even if I don't move to Houston.
Hmm.
But I will say that what he said made sense when he was like, I have to be there for my family. You have a sense of guilt
Yeah.
for nothing, for nothing. But you have a sense of guilt there where it's like, I can't leave them.
Hmm.
Yes, you can. Because
I,
every single last one of them have their own life. Every single last one of them has their own journey. If my journey ends up turning into me having to move somewhere else and then I learn something else from that and I experience other things from that, then that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That has nothing to do with you.
yeah.
And honestly, you never know. I could go there and then make millions, network with so many different people that y'all won't have to worry about anything.
For sure.
So you gave him the right advice for sure. Because I know that if I ever want to move, I will be doing that and nothing's going to hold me back. I remember telling my mom about it, and she
Hmm.
was like, I would be devastated. I would be so sad. I would be so broken. And she was like looking at me like, please don't make that decision. Cause she knows how I am. I'm very like, if that's something I want to do, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and she was just making that face like, please don't leave me. I won't have anyone. And I'm just like, yes, she will. And I understand what she's saying because we are best friends. However, I have my own life to live. So if that's what I
Right.
end up doing, that's just what I end up doing.
In that part. In
And I'm
that
gonna just
part.
have to make sure I communicate more. Of course, I'll be, flying out a lot,
Yeah.
but I cannot I cannot make someone else's emotions mine.
Mm.
I cannot make someone else's insecurities mine. So, I've definitely learned how to separate the two.
I think we are not every child that is our age, but I think within our generations, it is more important for us to understand that we are going to be the generational curse breakers,
Yeah.
because like so if you look at how many of our parents have said, you know what, I've given up my dreams. Like I wrote a poem for my mom on I think it was Mother's Day or her birthday. And in the poem it was expressing, Mom, you gave up your dreams just so your kids can have theirs.
Mhm.
I'd be a fool, number one, if I didn't take on that access of what you just given me. Now I'm going to live in the same thing that you did. You just sacrificed something for me. Why would I become the sacrifice? No,
Yeah.
you sacrifice something so I can have something. So now I'm going to take advantage of the life that I have and the desires, and I'm going to make sure that I am successful with God first, right? But I'm going to
Mhm.
make sure that I'm successful so that way it comes full circle,
Exactly.
and now she reaps.
Exactly.
Because
That's the
it,
only way that can happen.
literally, it's the only way. And I this is another reason why I encourage people to not only just watch the podcast, but understand like why, right? AKA the merch. Why I named it Your Perspective Matters is because like it is super true. Like
It
I need you
is.
to know that your perspective matters, number one, because your point of view is needed. But number two, it's also because of the fact that the reason why you are where you are at and the reason why you have certain desires and so on and so forth is because of your perspective. So if that's true, sometimes, and we could have a whole episode on perspective, is understanding that even though perspective is all great, but
Mhm.
perspective can also be the thing that's taking up all the room.
Mhm.
Now you need to be able to clear out your own perspective so you
Exactly.
can make way the fresh perspective.
Mhm.
So man, like I could go on, but are you making room?
Okay.
Are you making room?
That is so funny.
Man. Um yes, so we are going to, for the sake of time, we are going to move on to the next segment really quick. Is well we kind of really went into it. Do I have
Yeah.
your permission to make you uncomfortable? But I want to ask it in a little different way. The follow up question to that for you specifically, Jazz, would be what is something this week that because our objection question is, are you in your own way?
Mhm.
And you also stated that you weren't receiving. So what else, or what's a specific thing or scenario where you was actually getting in your own way?
Um, Literally not doing what I know I can do. Literally that.
Mm,
It's as simple as that. Even though that is such a simple thing to say, there's so many layers to it.
right.
But literally not doing what I know I can do and what I know I need to do. So just with my business thing,
Hmm.
I haven't been making content. I knew I needed to be making content. I know I can make content and I know I can get better at content.
Right.
I'm just not doing it because I'm letting myself think about every other last thing that I have to do. Then I let myself get overwhelmed with that. Then I stop thinking about all of it. Then I put no action towards it because it makes me feel better to be avoided. Then I feel
Mm,
worse for being avoidant. Now I'm back to square one. Either do it or don't. Then I go back to, well, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta do this and I gotta do. But it's like my problem that I still have is taking one thing at a time, taking it one day at a time.
right.
As long as I work on something every single day, I'm going to get closer to the end goal of what I'm trying to do or what I'm doing. So for example, if I need to finish getting my business side together so I can start gaining business credit.
Right.
Okay, I have like 3 or 4 more things to do.
Mm,
I believe one of them costs money, so it needs to be done. So, yeah, I'm gonna make it my business for that to be done by next Friday because I can't keep waiting. I'm No one is waiting on me.
yeah. Mm,
No one's waiting on me. I don't have kids. Nobody's like when you really think about it, who is waiting on you? If you're waiting on you, that's yeah, because you want your 50K.
okay,
But
so
no one's waiting on you. And if you're waiting on yourself, then you're completely in your own way.
mm,
And I'm sitting here waiting on myself, like, okay, Jazmine, we got things to do. And I'm like, okay, Jazmine, I'll do them. And then Jasmine doesn't do it. So
mm,
now I'm looking at myself like, when are we going to get this done? And then I'm telling myself, well, I don't know. But my thing is, I do know. I just have to do it. Like, it's literally that simple. There's two people in this world, two types of people. A person that will make excuses as to why they couldn't get something done, and then a person that will get something done no matter how many excuses they may have.
That part.
And I want to be that person that, yes, I may have all of these hurdles, but I'm going to get it done no matter what. And even just as I'm gonna get even more personal.
Okay.
Um, Over the past year, I've been a manager at my job, making really good money. I remember a few months ago, I had got like a statement that showed me how much I made in a month. And I was like, there is no way I'm making this much in a month. And I don't have not $1 in my savings. There is no way I touched this much money and there's no money in my savings account.
Or
So
in
that
my
means I'm making this amount every month. And it's been 12 months in this year, and I have nothing to show for it.
mm,
That don't make sense. What? That doesn't make sense. But then I'm the same person that wants to be rich. I'm the same person that wants to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to be
wealthy.
rich in the mind. I'm thinking about that too, but I don't want to say that yet. I want to be rich in my mind. I want to make good financial decisions, and I want to be a trillionaire or whatever I can be. But in order to get there, I need to have financial literacy.
Hello.
I need to know how to save my money. And I know how to save it. I actually need to just save my money. That's the thing. That's the difference. You know how to do something, but you don't do it. That's what makes it all so tough to be accountable for. Because nobody is stopping me from saving my money. Nobody is stopping me from spending my money. So I need to have discipline in between both of those lines. And it's like I could be so much further along in life, so much further along. Had I done this thing this way or that thing that way. But it takes experience like these to put fire under my behind to say, Jazmine, don't let this happen again. Don't have this epiphany one more time. Don't.
Because you are in the right place at the right
Right.
time. And this is critical, right? What happens is when we see our and start recognizing our potential and our capabilities, we start seeing that we can be a lot further than where we're supposed to be. The real and I'm sorry to break the bear I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news to anyone that's listening to this podcast, but you are not supposed to be further than where God wants you to be. The reason why you are where you're supposed to be is because had you moved further along, you would have been unprepared.
Unprepared completely, 100%.
So we gotta go through the motions of failing. We gotta go through the motions of being disappointed or disappointing others, right? We gotta be the we gotta encounter the experience of falling short
Yep.
because it's going to teach you something.
Hmm.
And if you're not taught that thing, then you can't move forward to be able to perform and do what it is that you need to do in the season that you need to do it in. Like
Hmm.
I don't want nobody to miss that because and I say that to you also, Jazz, because yes, it's and that's me too. I felt like, with everything that I know, why am I not there? And God revealed specifically to me that you wouldn't have stewarded well. You would not have stewarded over it well if you would have been a millionaire early.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. I would have messed it up completely. I would have
Completely.
messed it up completely. You have to learn how to handle the blessings that you ask for. You'll get everything you ask for as long as you work for it, but you have to also work on maintaining what you're working on.
That part. That
I
part.
could go viral today. I could post something right now and go viral, and I could get 300 orders. Okay, I do that, and I don't have 300 orders ready.
Mm, wow.
So how long is it gonna take me to get 300 orders together? Then people are gonna be like, her shipping takes too long. Or what if I mess up on my communication? I've never gotten an email about how long this is gonna take. I haven't gotten an update. When am I gonna get my package? They don't care about your personal life. You want to have a business, no one cares about your personal life.
No.
You have to, if you're gonna sell a product, you have to get the product out.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for those moments. And that's exactly why I'm in a place where I'm like, I need to get all of these products together. I need to restock my website. I don't ever want to be in a position where someone is ordering something and it's not made already. At first, I used to like when I first started like really getting orders, I had everything made. And then when my orders started to slow down, I started doing it based off of whatever order I got. So if you order something, then I will make it. Now that it's being boosted back up, now I'm like, okay, dang, somebody just ordered something that I ain't made in 2 months, and they ordered five of them.
And you know what? Okay, this is so critical. The reason why we are like that is because we are not treating ourselves like a business before we even become to be a business.
Yeah.
When you are staying to be just and this is a whole like we could really go deep, but transitioning from being a CEO, I mean, I'm sorry, from being an entrepreneur to being a CEO.
Mhm.
Entrepreneur, you're just trying to get to the bag. You have that hustle mentality. You have a lot of different streams. But CEOs is like, yo, I need to make sure that this is streaming. Like
Mhm.
at the streaming so I can be able to build more rivers, right? I'm
Mhm.
able to make sure that my SOPs are in place. I need to
Mhm.
be sure that I have a valid inventory system, an inventory checking system, right? I need to be able to make sure that I know my numbers, so I know what I can project for the following months or following years, so I can also calculate what are my expenses, meaning that things that I can actually purchase to scale my business. And
Mhm.
know or even pay attention to none of that because we're not operating like a business. And this is why I keep
That's
telling
true.
um, you have to operate your whole life like that.
Mhm.
Every business has a system, so it allows another portion of the business to breathe,
Mhm.
right? Like when I come to work at these conventions, you have uh, the CEO that owns the whole thing, right?
Mhm.
He will be focusing his goal, or I should say one of his goals rather, is to expand to go into different other facilities, right? He don't got time to focus on Jazmine not coming to work. So what happens is now he creates a space where he creates jobs to hire managers. The managers are there to manage the whole scenario of what's going on
Mhm.
in the facility. But
Mhm.
he can't manage everybody. So he breaks down another chain of command. There goes your supervisors. Your
Right.
supervisors, but now there's different supervisors. You have the supervisor for HR. You have the
Mhm.
supervisor for accounting. You have the supervisor for food and beverage. You have the supervisor for banquet and all these different things. And now they have a fleet of people working for them to continue
Exactly.
daily tasks. So if we understand to operate ourselves as a business, we're able to now have structure in our lives. Literally structure. Man, this is I want to talk literally.
But I feel
Um,
like we need a part two of this for sure. And
definitely
that needs to be an episode and it's oh my god, we have so much to talk about.
for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, be ready because we have a lot to talk about. We
Hold
have
up.
way too much to talk about.
Wait, I'm like stopped up. Like it's just it's there. Like you know how when you ain't eat for so long, like all day you working
Yeah,
all the moment you get home, you like, yo, I'm dogging
I'm
everything
not gonna tear it up.
that plate gonna be devoured.
And that's what we've been doing. We've been tearing it up. We've been tearing it up.
Part. But I do want to go back to something really quickly.
Mhm.
Um, and then we are going to actually just close out. So you said something, and you were talking about who is waiting on you, um, and about getting in your own way. And that's critical because I have a statement that says your process is connected to somebody else's promise.
Mm-hmm.
So in actuality, from my standpoint or from my perspective, there is always someone waiting on you. But
That's true.
the thing about it is there are the people that we are aware of,
And people
like
that we are.
your mom, your friends, your sisters and brothers, and the people that you're close to. Those are the people that you know. But there is always a multitude of people that you don't know that is waiting on
They're
you.
waiting. Yes, you're
Your pro-
absolutely right.
your process is connected, not disconnected. It's connected to somebody's promise. So
You're right.
if, if you don't do what you need to do and fulfill and complete the process, not just okay, I'm gonna just go there and then that's it. You can't even fumble the ball in the process. You have to pick up everything, pick up all that you need to pick up within it, learn it, and get through it. When you get through it, there's someone that's been praying for a miracle. There's someone that's been praying, God, are you even real? There's
Mm.
someone saying, God, I need you to show me that this is doable. And then there comes Jazz.
Yep.
Only because Jazz completed her process opens the door to this person receiving the promise that's over their life.
You're absolutely right. Honestly, when I answered that, I was being very selfish. I
Okay.
was, because I was just talking about me. I wasn't even thinking about the community that I want to have and that
Right.
all of us are going to have. I wasn't even thinking about that. So you're absolutely right.
It's not. It's all. Let me tell you, I got words for everything. God, and it's mantras in my life that God is allowing me to, and that's one of the things. That's one of the mantras that I like hold on to completely. And I was trying to remember it, even though I know it always, but like because we were talking so good, I have it in my notes. So that's why I pulled it up and I was like, boom, there we go. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to cut you off and then kill your moment. I wanted you to
Yeah.
have that because I had let me get this out. Let me get it out. Nah,
You're
nah.
so funny.
And and this is like this has been my thing for a very, very, very long time because that's how I operate my life. And that'll also be one of the keys to helping you make room is understanding that because it's going to that's the accountability that you probably need is
Mhm.
being that if you don't fulfill that order and it doesn't we don't have to put it as just a business standpoint but in
Yeah,
general
but yeah.
through that order somebody's gonna go empty handed.
Mhm.
Now the
That's true.
question, do you want or not even do you want how many people will be left empty handed when you are no longer here?
I hope none. I hope none. Because, I mean, I know that I'm here for a reason. Obviously, I'm a very, 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 very special angel because only the most special ones get to come here and
There
experience these type of experiences
there
and
we
be
go.
connected to God all in one. So I think about that a lot. Like, obviously, I was 1A up there. I was 1A because there's no way you've seen so much in me to send me down here to bring more people back to you, to bring your own people back to you that have gotten lost. There's no way you did that. There's no way you chose me for nothing.
Whew.
So, and I know that I've gone through things the way that I've gone through them, so I can be a voice for other people. And I didn't realize that at first. It took me years to realize that. And now that I have, it's easier for me to go through things. Yes, it's still hard, but it's easier for me to go through things because I'm going to help someone else be able to talk about their issues or avoid getting there.
Right. I feel that. I feel
And then even on the more positive side, um, just my drive that I have, my business, everything that I know, everything that I've learned, the communities that I've made already. Like, honestly, I lose sight of how much value I actually do have until I realize that so many people come to me and just ask me questions. What do I do? And for a split millisecond, I'm like, why are you asking me? But I'm like, I know the answer. You're asking me because I know the answer, or because you see so much in me that you feel like I can help you. And I most likely can. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, oh, you know, that alone just really makes me want to make sure I'm really working on the betterment of myself because people are watching.
that. Yeah.
My little cousin wants to be just like me. And in my head, I'm like, girl, you might want to do things a little different, but I appreciate that. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, I just thank God for this type of opportunity. And to have grown so much. I may have been disappointed lately, but honestly, having this talk, I'm so proud of myself.
There we go. I like that. I'm proud of you too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you too.
Hey, let's get
One
it.
A, 1A of the world.
Yeah, the everybody has answers, and
Mhm.
there is perspective.
Exactly.
If I can get somebody on today, to win, it would be making you aware that you hold the answer. And your answer doesn't have to be something fully tangible. It doesn't have to be something super expensive or whatever. It's literally your point of view that matters the most. So if we can be able to express that, like, even though, yes, people are asking you questions, but the answer that, because they can get that answer from anybody, but they chose you because it's your
Exactly.
matters.
I love how you brought that. Love that. That was such a thing.
Bing.
Exactly.
We gotta have conflicts. I gotta
We
work.
do, for real. That would have been perfect. You're gonna have to, we gotta add that on there.
But yeah, that's like this was and a well needed episode for sure. I absolutely appreciate number one, Jazz. I appreciate you for taking the time and sharing the stage with me on today.
Thank you
Um,
for having me.
you already know I'm always going to tell you your perspective matters, but I want somebody out there to know and to really understand that you hold the keys. You you hold the keys. You hold the answers. You hold literally the access that somebody wants, right? Because your process, if you can get through your process, that's going to be that is the connection for somebody else to receive their answers.
Hmm.
So, with all that being said, family, if you have not done it yet. I don't know what you're waiting on, but you need to click the link below, subscribe on today. Um, if you're looking to search it on YouTube, it is YPM space pod. Once again, it is YPM space pod. And on all other platforms, it is Your Perspective Matters. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.